All right, people. We were back for another week. More news, more movies, more shit to talk about, y'all, because we got X-Men 97 to talk about this week. We got this Fall Guy low box office opening. Listen, guys, I don't want to say that the industry is dying, but things have changed. Let's just go with that because I think dying is drastic. I've seen some takes saying the industry's dying. Hold on. We still got movie theaters open. We still going to see movies. It's just different now. There's little differences. And plus, this is only the opening weekend. Also, Giancarlo cast in the MCU in an undisclosed role. There's a little caveat to that. We'll talk about that later on in the show. But let me first go ahead and introduce my co-hosts, y'all. Starting off with Loretto. What's going on, man? How you doing? I am out of focus.
Good evening. Super happy to be here, even though California weather is not California style. It's helter skelter. It's cold. It's hot. It's raining. I don't know. It's confused. But you know, as it goes, I'm always happy to be here, man.
Good to have you, man. The weather's not doing too well though. Dang, man.
Yeah, it was like raining last night, and then today it was just hella cold, even though the sun's out.
Ooh, yeah, that's unusual. But San Francisco or your area, does it get kind of cold?
What was that?
Does your area get cold this year? Or
no, to be honest, like I'm really waiting for summer. It usually gets pretty warm.
Okay, cool. Well, shit, it's right around the corner, baby. All right, y'all. Welcoming back our other co-host coming back this week. What's going on, Eliana? How you doing?
Hello, I'm good. I'm fresh off a recent move. So, the setup is setuping. And, little by little, it's kind of like, week by week, it's going to be like a Sims room. Little by little, you keep adding a little decor, little things, little nicks and knacks. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, it's like every week there's like one new thing.
Everything, every week it'll look more and more like, furnished. Hopefully. But yeah, I'm doing great. It's been raining as hell here. I've had a concert every night for the past 2 nights, and I'm ready to stay indoors today.
Listen, the last 2 nights, y'all, I've had something going on every single
night.
Busy. I'm like, oh, I gotta get some rest. I'm
literally today I had brunch and I rested the rest of the afternoon. I was like, you know what? I'm not working. I just stayed at a friend's place the rest of the afternoon, and we just, just lounged. Sometimes you just gotta be dead to the world just for a little bit. You gotta recharge. Exactly. Played a little board game. Oh my god! Thank you for cinephile.
Yeah, Mike's in the building announcing the Queen's arrival.
I'm assuming it's me. Could be y'all.
No.
A queen. Leo's a queen too. We all queens. But the queen is back. And we're ready to talk about some movies. I actually had time to watch a movie last week instead of TV. Well, instead of just TV, I still watch TV.
Lo, do you know who Kendrick Lamar and Drake are?
Say no.
Come on, man.
Just for fun.
No, it's funny because Tyler thinks I'm so uncultured, but I have some surprises up my sleeve.
All right, y'all. Team Kendrick or Team Drake? I mean, Team Kendrick here.
I mean,
all day.
I don't know.
Every day.
I don't know. At least Kendrick can write. Well, that's how I feel about it. And I am not informed to say anything else. But throughout the years, I know who I've listened to.
Drake's ghostwriters are working hard this weekend. Let's just say
papito. I think some Ghostbusters got to him.
Yeah, let's be honest. Them writers ain't doing good work, but they working. They working. So
I hope they're union.
All right, y'all. We'll start off with our first little seggy here. Our first little segment. Let's talk some movies and shows of the week, y'all. Starting off with X-Men 97, y'all. Hashtag Magneto was right. Bastion done made the people into Sentinels, Sentinel humanoid crossovers. It's crazy, man. I love seeing X-Men going the route of the zombie apocalypse, essentially, and having those Sentinel humanoids team up against them. I love what's going on in the show right now. I never thought, well, I would have loved to have this at any point in my life, but to see Wolverine and Nightcrawler back to back battling Sentinels And to see Nightcrawler's abilities so up close and intimately through Logan's eyes, the animation in this show just continues to wow me every single episode. The messaging and themes of this show are so much more adult than I expected them to be. I mean, with Rogue crossing the line last week, and now we've got these things happening this week. It has been a wonderful journey through X-Men 97. And honestly, guys, it has absolutely exceeded my expectations on all fronts so far. What did you think of that episode, Lo, man? I know we both love that original animated series. How we feeling, bro? What'd you think of that episode?
I mean, they've yet to miss. You know, we're winding down to the big finale, and Bo DeMaio and his whole team have yet to miss. I'll be honest, this was a tense episode. This was like it's hard to imagine how they get out of this. But then, you know, lo and behold, Magneto from the ashes reveals why he is an Omega level mutant. And that was honestly probably one of the most satisfying glimpses at his true power that we've ever seen. I mean, it's cool seeing, you know, him in First Class stopping the missiles in live action. That's awesome. Apocalypse, he was pulling metal out of the earth. That was awesome. But God, just to do a global EMP, like that's like a magnitude of power we have not really seen in any medium, animation or live action. And I think that's just like it gave me chills seeing it. So that was awesome for our King Magneto.
Yeah, Magneto was absolutely magnificent this episode. By the way, they keep peddling the hell out of that Magneto thirst. I was like, yeah, every time we see this, we know got him in some kind of sexual scenario.
You think, o sea, my eyes see, and I see these, like, you're gonna present this to me and say there's no malintent? I'm so point clutching my pearls. I'm truly just clutching my pearls at this point. I had that scene, and I was like, "Is that why Charles made the X-Men logo? Like, that's the
got that man spread out, collar on,
and also like,
good Lord,
like I know Magnus is pretty fit, but man, they really he was showing his
chiseled, contoured.
I was like, wow.
Good.
I was like, okay, we're the
gracious.
Gag at this point. Like, yeah,
no, I genuinely think that they were in the studio like, so what if we just made him hotter? Like, what if we just like screwed with the audience? It's a little bit.
They're
more,
like gradually like increasing it. They're like hotter.
They're adding an ab every episode. Actually,
it's like they had the episode where we first meet him in the first couple episodes. It's like, okay, he's got the arms cut out. Okay. Then in the next one, he's tilting over by Rogue. I'm like, what are we doing here? And then now here we are. This man's spread arms and legs. It's like, here it all is, folks. The only thing you can't see is my dick. That's it.
At this point, because you know what? This television. This is Disney television at the end of the day. Good Lord. He really did turn off the world in his underwear. He stopped time. Truly. But you know what? Aside from the thirst traps, I think it was still a very, very well balanced episode. And man, it's just like Leo, you were saying, just how we're getting this huge like apocalypse level event, and we're still not even like in the actual like finale just yet. Like, it is insane how high the stakes are, even though they somehow managed to scrape on by, but you don't feel like anyone has like, my boyfriend likes to call it like MC powers, like MC immunity. Like you truly think, main character immunity, like you don't really feel that. You don't feel safe. And I think that's the fun of it. I think genuinely seeing these incredible action scenes and seeing the team really work together in this episode, I don't know, it's just really, really satisfying. And again, like that Nightcrawler animation, so you like, I've never imagined like what the inside, I guess, of that multiversal teleportation that Nightcrawler does. And it's just, I don't know, it's things that you don't even think of. Mm-hmm. And I really got to hand it to the animators. Like, they're really, really thinking out of the box. And that's what's really setting the show apart and making me excited for every Wednesday.
Yeah, every Wednesday has become an event now because X-Men 97 is just so good. I mean, it's funny that like from every little minute detail. It's like the dialogue of the show, the delivery that the voice actors are doing, the animation, every like small detail of the show is just so good. I mean, better than I could have imagined. And it's not anything against the original animated series, but this is better. I mean, I'm
It feels like high art.
Words with how good it is, huh?
It feels like high art. It's the craft of it. Like it's genuinely like they've taken this really good story and they're like, how about we just turn it up and really treat it like high art? Because it is. And I think that craftsmanship really shows and shines through each episode, be it the animation, the storytelling, the music, the voice acting, etc. So yeah, I think I walk into the office every Wednesday and I tell my coworker, you know what? It may be Wednesday, but X-Men 97's tonight, so we up.
We up.
I keep converting people in my department. I got like 2 people watching the show now, so I'm doing the Lord's work.
Nice.
Hola, Marvel Latin News.
Hola, Anthony.
You know, I'm glad you brought up the stakes, Ileana, because I honestly thought we might lose another person this week. I was like, with all the madness with the androids, I was like, yo, are we about to lose somebody else? I was like,
generally thought we were going to lose Nightcrawler for a second. I don't know, man.
I was like,
we were scraping by there, so I'm scared.
And
because there's still, what, 2 episodes left?
Yeah, there's 2 left, and I don't think Gambit's coming back.
No,
that's what really,
it's gonna be a little too tight for that.
Hit. Yeah, that hit because like I think Nathan confirmed he was trying to fix things and he couldn't.
Yeah, that event has to happen. And I think what it is like, okay, this is me getting like mad nerdy, but I think he's gonna be part of the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse next season. So I think that's keep Gambit dead, and then he'll become one of the horsemen, but they have to kill him. So it's kind of like the stakes are there, man. It's like these characters are not gonna just miraculously come back. Can we talk about real quick though the freaking Summers family in this episode?
Yeah, I was actually about to bring that up. I was like, that was pretty
cool. I'm like,
that was cool.
She came to say, break it up, boys. We gonna be a family. Don't mess with the Summers. I loved their combo attacks against the Sentinels. I was like, yes. I love seeing this. And I love the conversation between Kurt and Jean about choosing family. I love that. I was like, this is phenomenal, man. I mean, this show with this melodrama and how much these characters are so close to one another. You actually like really feel the gravity of those words, man. Fucking phenomenal, man. Just so good. So good.
Yeah, he really did.
GHC10. Yeah, I was like,
no. Magneto. No, and you know what? I have
actually, hold on. I like how he rephrased it. What did he say? He was like, enough. Right?
Enough.
Yeah, I was like,
he said enough. He said enough. And what I really love is the callback to Magneto was right. Because that was like on a sign or something. And then we had this lady, and her name escapes me, the lady that works at the UN.
Blonde lady,
that blonde lady that I don't really fuck with. But when she gives us that callback and says actually concludes Magneto was right, I was like, my virtual background a couple weeks ago.
Yep,
I may not be Jean Grey, but the foreshadowing was there, and it was very satisfying. I really, really liked that callback. And also Spider-Man. That was a really great cameo. I like how the cameos here feel right. They don't feel forced. They don't feel corporate.
No,
you know?
And so
and
what
also,
I love about that Spider-Man cameo and all the cameos that are roped in is that it was literally just like a quick little, hey, like let's go over to Queens real quick. Hey, this person's over here. It wasn't like they were like, oh yeah, like Spidey came in and immediately saved the day. You know what I mean?
We're not giving them protagonism.
No, we're showing the effect of Magneto's abilities around the entire globe. So that was such a cool scene. And even to get the villains too, we got Baron Zemo and all these other villains appearing on computer screens talking with Bastion. So just a really great incorporation of cameos. Also, I think it was last episode, Morph has been like a cameo machine, and I'm loving that that's the way they incorporate.
But it's very quick. It's blink and you miss it. I really love
it's that. Like Quicksilver was last episode. Angel was like first or second episode. I'm like, dude, these cameos are cooking.
For a second, I was like, Juggernaut's here? Oh, it's Morph.
Yeah, right. It's like,
that episode. Any episode with Morph is not one to see under the influence because you will get very confused very quickly. Lord.
But a fun fact though, the Spider-Man one is especially full circle for the OG fans because
yes.
the original X-Men show did not have the rights to show Spider-Man or any of the other Marvel characters. So there's a cameo in the old show, but it's just his hand whipping. They couldn't show his face or a symbol, but they showed his hand, and that's just so to see him his full body in this was just
That's awesome.
it came all the way back around. So
well, he's like in one of the episodes, right?
no. So later they got the rights for X-Men to appear in Spider-Man, but they didn't have it for Spider-Man to appear on X-Men. It's really weird.
That's right. Yeah, because the group of them were in the Spider.
They were on the Spider-Man show, and that was
cool.
after the fact. Because that came out after the animated series, so
yeah, we had Cap in this show last episode, a Hulk mention. I mean, we've just gotten everybody to come around,
and it feels natural. It generally feels like when you're reading a comic book and you're seeing, kind of the lack of those legal boundaries, I guess, between all these characters, and you're just like, oh yeah, of course, Captain America exists in this universe and in this society. Of course we have the Avengers, of course they have their limitations, blah 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 blah. How do we manage, because it's not it's not like pretending none of it exists outside of your protagonist. So I really like how natural and organic it feels. It really feels, it makes the world building feel very rich. Oh yeah, Cap's about to refreeze his ass. Looking for that damn shield.
Rogue threw that shit into like another star system.
Oh yeah. Rogue threw that shit so far. I think the Guardians found it.
But really quick, I love this comment because Cable turned from like a grizzly white-haired old man to a teenager in 2 seconds.
Right.
The second he starts hanging out with Cyclops.
Like little late to be playing protective dad, isn't it? I'm like, oh shit, okay.
Heartbreaking though. I don't know. When you said that, and I was like, oof.
There's some angst there,
that
bro.
Hurts.
Yeah. Well, imagine, right?
Lord.
He's lived like 40, 50 years without his dad, right? So.
He's technically older than his dad.
Yeah,
That's
Cable's
crazy.
old.
Had him in that situation too. Like you got
Cable's all gray.
Like shit, man. But yo, the only complaint, and I understand this complaint, but I know what they're doing. I get it. Not enough Storm. I need my Storm back, y'all. I'm like, but I know
I agree.
Storms are coming. Storms are coming. So I know what they're doing here. She's totally gonna come back in the last episode and do some absolutely major damage. I know what they're doing. And
also ditto Professor X, because he hasn't come back yet. So
he's back. In the last episode, he came back.
Oh wait, he came back like at the end, right?
Yeah. He's
to me, my X-Men.
And he's
No, okay, I remember.
Yeah. He's like
right after Magneto's like global EMP like slay.
Okay.
So then he just he lands and it's like, to me, my X-Men,
like,
and then
but then it
just feels
credits,
really
right?
epic.
Yeah, because it felt quick. It felt quick. I think it cuts the credits right after that, right?
It cuts the credits really quick because it's like,
I found it interesting that he called Beast, Storm, Jean, and Cyclops. Those were like his big four to call first. Like, let me get my main four quick.
OGs,
my four host horsemen.
The dolls are the dolls.
Yeah.
What can I say?
But yes,
sometimes you got to play favorites.
Yeah, I mean, hey, I was like, I'd call those four first as well. No offense to Logan and Nightcrawler, but those are the first four I'm about to be calling. But y'all, great episode with X-Men 97. And now if you're in New York, you can rent the mansion for a day for $97. So hey, there's that too. But
am I the only one that thought that was AI?
I thought it was too, but it's legit.
I was gonna say,
it's
it
the way
felt
that it's
fake.
painted and filmed, but it felt very fake. And my boyfriend was showing me.
It felt like the
our
Willy Wonka
society
shit?
is collapsing.
We had like the meth Oompa Loompas. Like that's what it felt like. Like, is this real? Is this
the meth Loompas? But I felt that same way. I really did. I was very confused, but cool. I saw a little clip. Very interesting. Slightly, this is me talking, my opinion, a little bit dystopian that Disney is now like opening up Airbnbs that are themed and decorated based on their IP. So that's like another revenue stream for them. They're also doing the Up House, apparently. So
Listen, they're talking about that about to go up in the air or something. I'm like, you better not forget you up in the air. You better not try to step out and try to get some air or some shit. You're cooked. There's just no way
just gonna go out for a walk.
There's
Hey.
gonna be an
Good
accident
Lord.
ASAP. I mean, if they
It's crazy.
actually have the balloons carrying that, there's going to be an accident.
Right.
They cannot have that part happen. Y'all better
Well,
write that
also,
out. Plan.
like if we're gonna go off the rails a little bit here, they are hurting. They had 4 of the top 5 biggest flops of last year, so they're trying to find more revenue for sure.
And their answer, Mufasa.
Well, one thing I can say is I do think Deadpool 3 will do well in the box office. Probably Mufasa as well, because honestly, Craven's not going to do better than that. Sonic 3 could pose a little competition, but it's not going to be Mufasa.
Mufasa, ooh,
Mufasa.
that's why I was cracking up, because the way she sounded, I was like, ooh,
do it again.
That was like my first reaction. She was like,
Ooh.
Speaking of the box office, see, we're not too far off the rails.
Yeah, speaking of the box office, Lo, what did you just check out?
Oh, right. Well, David Leitch, director of Bullet Train, Atomic Blonde, and the first John Wick. He ghost directed that one, right? Starring the Ken himself. He's Knuff, Ryan Gosling, and Emily Blunt. I'm gonna be honest, guys. I freaking loved Fall Guy.
Me too.
The narrative gets a little lost in the sauce on the way to
I
it.
agree.
Like the second act really kind of
I was like, woo, we dragged it a little.
The yarn starts unraveling a little bit, but from the beginning to the end, it's a really fun ride. And honestly, Ryan Gosling and Emily Blunt, like they are A-tier actors. They elevate the material. I love their chemistry, and God, the ode to like just filmmaking. This films like this, it's like it kind of makes me want to like, fuck, let me buy a camera and start filming again. Like seeing all the behind the scenes production and seeing like them actually film stunt sequences and then see the cinematic equivalent of what they just filmed, and then so that kind of back and forth just makes you appreciate not only stunt teams but just filmmaking, and it's just gorgeous. Like the crane, like the shots with the car with the camera on it, all these different rigs that action films get, like how creative you get with where you could put the camera, put it on the back of the truck, and just so fun. And I loved it. I thought it was great. It sucks no one's watching it, but to be fair, it also feels like they really mismarketed this film. But I don't know how you market it, because I feel like film nerds and film lovers are really enjoying all the nerdy stuff of like the production, but I don't know if that's hitting with general audiences, and it's probably not because no one's going.
And
so.
you know, I'm finding an interesting trend with Fall Guy here. Out of South by Southwest, rave reviews. I mean, rave reviews. And then once we got out and the rest of us film buffs and critics saw it, it's been kind of divided. Like I've seen some divides going on with it. I've seen some people who've loved it, like you and I, Lo. I've seen some people who've been like, I'm a little disappointed. And I do think you're right with the marketing there. It's a hard movie to market, because it's like, okay, it's about a stuntman who's finding his action star, but also is reconciling with his girlfriend. It's like, if you even just describe that to your friends who aren't huge film goers, it's like even just describing it is a little tough, because it's like, okay, that's a little bit of a like, okay, so the stuntman is going to find his action star, but also reconciling with his girlfriend. Okay, and his girlfriend's the director of the movie. Which movie? Oh, the movie in the movie. Like, it's just a lot to explain. So I'm like, how do you really market this? And how do you make it marketable to like where everybody wants to see it? But there's been trailers, there's been all kind of stuff. It's just a little hard to market, but I'm with you, man, in terms of just the movie. I loved it. I mean, I had a great time. I thought Blunt and Gosling were hilarious together. Aaron Taylor-Johnson, too. He's a hoot, man. And Hannah Waddingham, need to see her more. She's great. Listen, first season,
She's awesome.
First couple episodes, Ted Lasso version of Hannah Waddingham that was plotting behind the scenes came back out of this. And I'm like, I love it. So I thought she was really, really fun. The stunts were awesome. I mean, I thought the stunts were a load of fun. Loved following Winston Duke and Ryan Gosling in one action scene where they're taking on the goons of Aaron Taylor-Johnson's character. I was like, yeah, I really, really enjoyed a lot about this movie. it's like you said, though, there is a big lull in like the second act where it's like, woo, we're getting a little too lost in sauce here, taking a few too many turns, we took one too many turns in that second act, but it really does smooth itself out toward the end. And I just had a fun ride. It was a great dedication to not only films, but especially stunt people and how much they put work into the movies that it just goes widely uncredited. They even have jokes about the Oscars not giving any Oscars to stunt people. So I love that this is also like a, hey, stunt people are super important to filmmaking. Check this out. But it's like we were saying, it's just hard to market this. And we'll get into that more in the box office discussion. But I had a blast. Seemed like David Leitch and everybody else, Emily, Ryan, everybody was just having so much fun. Like it just felt like all the cast were really having a good time themselves. I would say some of the humor can get a little extra goofy sometimes, but for the most part, I was having a blast, laughing my ass off. Popcorn movie to a T. Now,
and real quick, shouts out to my girl Stephanie Shu.
Oh yeah,
there wasn't enough of her, but she was awesome in every single scene she was.
Oh, she was great, man. She's great. And the little cameo at the end, I won't spoil, but I was like, okay, that's the perfect guy to get
right
for this movie.
right. That was pretty funny.
What's going on, Didge? Good to see you, man.
What up?
G. Colbert saying maybe certain audiences might think it's too inside baseball. Also, I heard some say it looks like a Netflix movie. Yeah, I've heard that critique as well. Like it looks like a movie for streaming. So you got people.
I was thinking the same thing.
You were thinking it too?
Yeah, I think again, like you guys were talking about the marketing. I'm like, yeah, I think the thing that really kept me from seeing it this week was one, I was trying to go see Challengers. So that was the one I really wanted to go see. I still haven't effing seen, but I'm hoping to see it in a couple days this week for sure before like it leaves fucking theaters. But I kept seeing like clips and like trailers for Fall Guy, and I was like, why does this feel like a straight to streaming movie? And I don't know, like I have to give it the benefit of the doubt, but I think again, it didn't really know to market it itself either as an action or a rom-com.
Yeah,
I feel like I think it's teetering between genres there, and it just didn't really have a clear communication, and I think that's also kind of hurt it.
Yeah, you know, this might be a hot take because as much as fun as the action and the stunts were, I really liked their romance, and it almost overshadows all the action for a little while because I'm just so invested in that relationship. So there's that too.
So maybe it is more of a rom-com, and they just don't know how to market it.
I mean,
there's
hard
a
to market
huge
both,
rom-com element to it. Right. All right, Ileana, let us know what you watched this week. You watched the movie.
I did watch a movie. I saw Idea of You, which came out on Prime Video this week. And I think it had a theater run that was pretty brief. It took like a minute. But I saw it, I think, Thursday night with my fiance. I keep saying my boyfriend, and he's not my boyfriend anymore. But we had an effing blast because first of all, Anne Hathaway and Nicholas Galitzin, I think that's how you say his name, they have actually illegal chemistry. Actually, I'm calling the police because they have very, very good chemistry. And let me just say, it's very, very steamy. I think my one critique is that it kind of rides a little bit too hard on the steam element rather than like their emotional relationship and the emotional turmoil, because yes, you have like this fantasy, Harry Styles fan fiction setting that is very, very, absurd and unlikely. And yes, it's, very romantic, but it does execute their affair in a way that feels very grounded, which was the most surprising thing about the movie. They feel like when they start where they're actually having dialogue and not and something else, they feel like real people. Like the decisions they make and the motivations behind them feel very valid and very logical. And it's really like two people in different stages of their lives just genuinely finding themselves and being okay with what they want, but considering how it affects the people they love around them. So it was really genuinely very heartwarming. And I really like, I was honestly a shock to me because I generally thought I was going to be like, just kind of funny and then like steamy and then bye. But it actually had something genuine to say. And I really, really love how it ended. Like, again, it felt very grounded. It felt like, okay, if this were actually to happen in real life, this is how two like reasonable, though in love people would react. So I don't know. It just something, there's something about it that I really, really enjoyed. It kind of lulled a little bit. Again, to me, I think they, I think they depended a little bit too much on like genuinely there's a lot of sex scenes in it. And not to be one of those people that is against having sex in film, because I think it's essential and I think it's something that shouldn't be censored. But if we're at a point where we're kind of losing their interactions with each other and their dialogue with each other for a little bit just to see them be sexy, and like we kind of lose the romance. Like they need to talk to each other too, even if it's in between, so that we can kind of believe their connection. But it does save itself by the third act with that element. It's just in the second act they have a lot of fun. Let's just say that. But I honestly genuinely enjoyed it, and I genuinely can recommend it, and it is on Prime Video. And that was my alternative to Challengers because it was really late and I couldn't make it to the theater. So I was like, well, we have Challengers at home.
So see, okay, that line right there, that also took away from the Fall Guy. Because if you think about it, if you're a rom-com fan, okay, I can spend $15 and go see the Fall Guy, or
Correct.
I can load up my Prime Video and watch This Idea of You with Anne Hathaway.
Of course.
Like, I mean, it's just like you have premium content available at home. So that's another.
And it genuinely looks very well filmed. It doesn't feel like a streaming movie. Like there's actual like some thought put into a bunch of the shots, and I'm like, whoa! Like
it premiered at South by Southwest. It premiered at a film festival, so it's like streaming is such a.
I believe it. Yeah, like that. It honestly felt really good. It felt very like well crafted. Of course, it didn't have the world's biggest budget, but with the budget they had, they made it look good. They didn't make it look like
like crap.
A regular street. They didn't make it look like crap. Truly, it didn't look low quality. Like even the scenes where that they had to CGI some elements, it looks good. That's great. They were very, I think, savvy with their set pieces because we don't have a crap load of sets, but the sets we do have, like, it makes sense for them to be there in the story. Everything, her house feels lived in, everything feels real. And it really helps that she's like an art gallery curator. Instead of exactly, it is genuinely so cute, and I love everything that sets them up. I love how they had their meet cute, and it felt real. It felt like a real romance, despite the circumstances being so fantastical. So I don't know, I really, really enjoyed it. But yeah, I think definitely it's one of those things where you have a genuinely good option on streaming the same week that, a movie, like another box office release happens. Yeah. And I'm sorry, if there's been more buzz recently, especially like on film Twitter, about Idea of You and more positive buzz, I think, at least from what I've seen and been exposed to in my algorithm, I think people are going to gravitate to Idea of You. Plus, people love Anne Hathaway. I'm sorry.
I was gonna say, honestly, Anne Hathaway.
He's a household name, and Nicholas Galitzine has his fandom too.
Yeah.
So they're both actors that have very good loyal fans.
Yeah. You tell me Anne Hathaway's in, and I'll be there, man.
Yes, sir.
Be there.
That's our Queen of Genovia right there.
Yeah, it looks like it could be a lot of fun. I heard the chemistry between the leads is great, so absolutely we'll be checking that one out.
No, I honestly recommend it. I genuinely think you guys will have fun with it.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm putting that on the watch list for next week. All right, y'all. Let's move into our next segment, shall we? All right, Lo,
All
take it
right.
away.
All right. Let's check that box office pulse. Just as we were illustrating a few moments ago, The Fall Guy debuts at number 1 this weekend, despite a lower than expected $28.5 million haul. The budget on The Fall Guy was about 130 or so, and that's a steep climb to even get close to making their money back. And it's safe to say Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes is probably going to bury it this week, and I don't think Fall Guy's getting that money back. It's a huge flop for Universal Pictures and for David Leitch, and unfortunately in the cast and crew. But I mean, we kind of were just talking about it a second ago. I mean, first of all, we've been talking about it all year. Cinema attendance is down. I think Leo, you illustrated on your one of your tweets, like things have just not been better since the pandemic, and it probably won't get better with the rise of streaming films and quality, and kind of like what Ileana was illustrating, like there's really good options to stay at home instead of going out to the theater. So across the board, cinema's down. But here's a fun surprise that I didn't mind including in our list here is Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, re-enters the 50 highest grossing films of all time with this re-release this weekend. A solid 8.5 million domestic. And I think this is like its third re-release. I think it had a 3D re-release and like a 10-year re-release or so. I can't remember, 10, 15 years, something like that. But this is great. I mean, it's kind of interesting how people don't want to watch stuff like The Fall Guy, but man, they will go back and watch Spider-Man 1, 2, and 3 and Star Wars Episode 1 like no other. Like these screenings have been full, guys. Like Spider-Man was sold out last week. Spider-Man 2 was sold out the week before, and my Star Wars theater was cheering, laughing. It was really incredible to see all these like fans come back in droves for these re-releases of films they've probably seen more than once already. So that's been pretty interesting. And to round up the top 5, Challengers is holding on. They didn't make much, but they're holding on. Taro is saying hello from 4th place. And Godzilla X Kong, I think they've been in the top 5 for a good month and a half now. So good on Lionsgate and the two Titans. They're just hanging around. And I think if you're going to go to the theaters, why not go see some kaiju battles, right? So let me throw this down to you, Ileana. Obviously, we kind of went over Fall Guy and all that, but like, how surprised are you to see like Star Wars in the top 5 of our box office this weekend?
You know something, and one, I was thinking about this the other day, and you reminded me and brought it back. It is really telling about the moviegoer like experience and the behavior, especially post-pandemic. It's not only, I think, an economic thing, but it's truly the quality. It goes to show what audiences are looking for, and the quality of films and at the box office more often than not are not worth risking $10-15 on anymore for people. Like people don't want to I guess I don't know. I don't want to put I don't know statistics right now. I forgot all that. But I think most of the time, let's say 7 out of 10, you're not gonna go see a really high quality movie at the movie theater. It's just I think that's just the unfortunate truth.
Definitely a dice roll.
And when I say that, I mean like mainstream, like Hollywood releases. Yeah. And people are just way more willing to go back to the theaters for something that is one weekend only, so it's limited time. So it also creates urgency. And it's a movie that has a fandom. It has people that already have seen it, so they know they're gonna have a good time and they like it. And it's also movies that were made before this era of corporate sludge, let's say. Not to be too harsh, but it's honestly like it's what occurs to me. It's just We're seeing a lot of things just kind of be rebooted, repeated, or just poorly thrown together. Yes, we have some diamonds spread out through there. We had Dune recently, which was like a huge box office success. So people do want to go to the movie theater. They're just having to be way more informed or careful with what they go see, so that's not a waste of time and money.
And also it helps that some of these re-releases like Spider-Man, it's like $5, and it's just interesting to me though, like instead of the $15 to go see like Ghostbusters or Fall Guy, people will spend $5 to rewatch Spider-Man. I just find that really interesting. Like if they care about it enough, they'll shell out $5 for it. So really quick, I want to say what's up to Keezy. He said Fall Guy is the type of movie that should be a success. Welcome to the chat, man. The result is honestly head scratching. I mean, it is, but also, I mean, we were kind of just talking about it. Like this film feels like a blockbuster for nerds. It doesn't feel like a blockbuster for moms and dads and their families, to everybody to go love this quirky rom-com Hollywood picture. But Leo, man, are you baffled by this top 5? It's like it's so all over the place, man. Like Challenges at 3, Star Wars at number 2. It's pretty crazy. Like,
yeah, Godzilla X Kong is an event film, and it's also a franchise movie, so it being in the top 5, yep, makes sense. Challengers, kind of that steamy newcomer, which, I mean, its marketing, I won't even call it misleading, because it's like, oh, the story kind of does something a little different, but it's still very thrilling, and a lot of it's really hot, y'all. We'll just say that. And a lot of people are very much enjoying Challengers. My thing about Fall Guy is, like we were saying earlier, it's like it's hard to market it because of the plot. It's like, okay, rom-com, action movie, stunt, dedication movie. It's like, how do we market this? That number 1, streaming, contest being number 2. And something you brought up that I completely forgot about, man, I was at Spider-Man 3 on Thursday, and people were having a blast, bro. Laughing, quoting the movie. People clapped at the end. I'm like, dude, people are coming in droves to these Spider-Man movies. And honestly, them being $5 a ticket, that's getting butts and seats way easier than this. I mean, that is a great strategy. And I'm like, listen, I think that's not the last we see of stuff like this. I think with Phantom Menace coming out, releasing this May 4th, I'm like, this is about to be a trend of re-releasing these movies, because you don't have to drop a trailer. You don't have to do all this marketing. You don't have to just say, hey, $5 this weekend. Go check out the Phantom Menace. Go check out Revenge of the Sith. Yeah, I'm going to check that out, bro, because, yeah, my downstairs TV is not a movie theater. But, hey, if I can just pay $5, I'm telling you, man, hell of a release strategy. But another thing about the Fall Guy that I found kind of interesting, that I was looking around on Twitter a little bit earlier, and one of the caveats of the Fall Guy was there were some people saying, oh, well, has Ryan Gosling or Emily Blunt ever had a hit? And I'm like, well, Quiet Place and La La Land, Drive even did well for its budget. But it makes you wonder, maybe, I also love Ryan Gosling, but they aren't really box office draws. Yeah, Jacoby, I was going to say, maybe they had their one in the sun, and it's like, okay, but are they going to be enough of a draw to keep bringing people back? I don't know. I just don't know. Like, if let me ask you, it's like, if you're talking to just a non-film friend, like I'm talking, like they're not on Twitter, they barely go to the movies. The last time they went to the movies was maybe a year ago or so, whatever. You tell them, hey, Ryan Gosling and Emily Blunt's going to be in this movie. They might say, who? To one of those names. Like, and I'm not, if I'm being honest, I love Emily Blunt, but she might be the one that they're like, who is that again? Who? So
yeah, you'd have to explain. Oh, remember she was in Devil Wears Prada, and she was
Prada,
in that Tom Cruise movie,
like,
the future one.
Yeah, so it's kind of like, I don't know if the two of them together is like the draw, but it's like, okay, you say Ryan Gosling, Emma Stone, it's like, oh yeah, Emma Stone, yeah, for sure. So I just think the combo of those two, maybe if you had a bigger actor or actress in one of those roles, could have helped.
Well, what's interesting too is, like, you look at Barbie, which made $1 billion, and it's like people weren't going to see Ryan Gosling though. Like, Barbie was its own phenomenon; it had its own steam, but people weren't there because of Ryan Gosling.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
So, because of him, he had a good moment in and great role in the movie, and I Am Knuff, and his songs were awesome. But like, they weren't like looking at the poster like, Ryan Gosling, I'm front row for him. Nah, man.
I hate to say it, Colby brings up a good point. This actually might be true for some people.
Yeah.
Casual film goers might be like, oh, isn't he the guy from The Notebook? Because that's probably where they know him from.
Honestly.
Heartbreakingly true. Heartbreakingly true.
Blade Runner 2049 had a terrible box office, unfortunately.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
That's such a niche sci-fi fandom. Drive. It had a great box office for its budget. It was like $90 million on a $15 million budget. So budget-wise, great. But like, that's not a ton of people. Yeah.
Also, very different time. Very different time for the box office.
If anything, it's like, well, La La Land, one of those two won an Oscar, and it wasn't Ryan Gosling. So, you know what I mean? Like, they might.
I was thinking the same thing.
Huh?
I was thinking the exact same thing, and I was thinking, damn, like people didn't go to La La Land for Ryan Gosling. They went for Emma Stone. They
Yeah.
went for the musical aspect of it, you know?
Mhm.
It's like, damn, like he's such a good actor, but he's not a box office superstar. I think arguably, even though, you know, historical data recently could say otherwise, but I think even Margot Robbie could be more of a draw to the box office than Ryan Gosling if
Oh
we had
yeah.
to compare them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So we'll keep it trucking, guys. But I think for now, it seems like it's a double-edged sword here. We got an $100 million film flopping at number one, and a nostalgic 20-year-old, 25-year-old film in second. So the nostalgia train's gonna keep chugging, and Hollywood knows it. Disney knows it. That's why they're freaking feeding us Mufasa. But anyways, speaking of Disney, Giancarlo Esposito has been cast in an undisclosed MCU role that he himself confirms he has not been fan cast for. Which, let me say this, I want to believe him. I want to think he's genuine. But Andrew Garfield swore on his life he was not in No Way Home. He tried so hard to convince people he was not going to be in No Way Home. So it's hard. I'm going to take this with a grain of salt. Maybe Giancarlo wants to surprise us, maybe. But it is wishful thinking that he might be Professor X or something of that kind of stature. I'm going to throw this right down to you, Leo. I mean, your ears are on the ground, and I know this is a big story for you, and you might know more about it than I do. But I mean, like, I'm excited regardless of who he is, because sometimes you just get these actors in these films and it's great. Like, for example, Obadiah Stane, Jeff Bridges in the very first Iron Man. He's amazing because Jeff Bridges is a great actor. Sam Rockwell in Iron Man 2. I want Hammer back because Sam Rockwell is incredible and he made Justin Hammer interesting. So I don't care what Giancarlo does. I'm excited. Let me throw this down to you, Leo. Do we have any more news on this?
Yeah, so the thing about this role, and I love Giancarlo Esposito. I was like guessing. I'm like, what is it going to be? Galactus? Is it going to be? I know it ain't Doctor Doom because he's been fan cast as that, but I'm like, who's it going to be? Maybe it's Norman Osborn. Maybe. Then he went and said that apparently it's going to be a new and original character, and I was like, oh shit! Like, you gotta be kidding me, man. Is this about to be another William Jackson Harper and Ant-Man situation where he's just some random ass goon in Thunderbolts that they're taking on? I'm like, listen to me. If y'all gonna waste Giancarlo Esposito, I'm not gonna be happy. I'm not gonna be happy. But you know what? Here's the thing. Glenn, it could just be this Glenn Close type of involvement where she was like, oh yeah, I'm heading up the Nova Corps. It could totally be something like that. And I guess if that's it, fine. But man, I think he would make a great Norman Osborn. If I mean, apparently the rumor is the offer's out to Javier Bardem for Galactus. But if he were to pass, I would love for Giancarlo Esposito to be Galactus. I would love for him to be any villain in the MCU. If you even want to make him Blade's mentor, I'm down for that.
But I was going to say Blade, just old guy Blade.
Blade. I'm down for that. If he's like a stick-like figure to like Blade and helps him train and stuff, dude, that would be freaking awesome. But if he's just going to be some random goon, also he did say it would be sooner than later. So I'm like, okay, that means he's either in Deadpool 3, Thunderbolts, or Cap. Or maybe Fantastic Four, but those are our next three. So I'm like, well, he's not in Blade. He's maybe not in Fantastic Four, but if he's just some random dude, I'm going to be upset. Like, if this is a William Jackson Harper situation where he's just a fucking fool, gonna have an issue.
I was going to say, you know what? I think I'm a little bit more optimistic than you, but Liliana, maybe you could split the vote here. Are you excited?
Oh, no, I'm hyped, by the way. I'm super excited. But just after that caveat, I'm like, please be good.
I feel you.
But I feel you, Leo. And Marvel, you do not want to make Leo upset. We will all be upset. Because that would be mean.
Ileana, how do you feel about this?
I generally think he's a phenomenal actor. I love his role, particularly in The Boys. But man, I don't know. I don't want to be, you know, kind of a buzzkill, but I feel like it is possible that they're going to waste him. But ideally, I think any of the villains would be awesome. Leo mentioned Norman Osborn, and I was kind of giving a feel for like maybe like a Victor Doom, or I really do like the idea of a Galactus and having him be like this big I guess, conquering force. But I don't know. I feel like Giancarlo is one of those actors that works best in more of a, let's say, maybe like an intimate setting. So having him be like this big overarching like character slash villain also feels a bit like a waste for him. I think something a little bit more menacing and one-on-one would be more appropriate. And I think kind of a Victor Doom, or like Leo said, a Norman Osborn, or just anything, as long as he's not like superficial generic corporate like boss or executive. I think that's the way to go. And again, I love his scenes in The Boys. I think he's great.
Oh, he's fantastic.
So that's kind of that vibe that I kind of would love to see him like do in the MCU.
Yeah, you know what? So I got a caveat to that. If he's Doom, he's going to be one of the biggest people in the MCU. Like, that won't be intimate.
Yeah,
he's gonna be like,
he's not. I'm thinking literally. He's not gonna be big.
No, but I'm just saying he's gonna be like a force of a character if he were to be.
Oh, for sure. But at least, I can see Victor Doom, at least from what I remember from like the older movies, like you can still have like a menacing like one-on-one with Victor Doom.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day,
he's
still
a
dude.
Yeah.
He is still just a dude.
Listen, my comic nerd.
That's okay.
Like,
that's okay. That's all good.
Like,
that's all good. But I think he'll be cool. I think it would be menacing as all hell, and I think it would be good.
Well, piggybacking off of that, Ileana, hear me out. And I'm not trying to like champion him being just a random dude, but Robert Redford in The Winter Soldier caught me off guard. He was just some dude in S.H.I.E.L.D. and he tore shit up. He was secretly Hydra.
Yeah.
He was just some dude running S.H.I.E.L.D. backstabbing Nick Fury, and it was Robert Redford, and he made it great. So I think the biggest thing is whatever it is, because actually, you know what? Now that you say it, Leo, I have a feeling maybe it's Brave New World. Maybe they wrote him in. Maybe he's somebody along those lines. But I could just see him eating because he's a good actor. So I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. But Keezy with a good comment here, Phil Coulson, OC. So yeah, there's some good original characters in the MCU. That does give a little hope. Yeah,
that is fair. That is fair.
Salute to Coulson, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. forever, baby.
Oh, they wouldn't be ready for that, King. They wouldn't be ready for that. Now, if they're gonna do another King, I want it to be Coleman Domingo. That's who I'm like. That fan cast is so perfect. I just need Coleman to be Kang if they want to redo Kang, but maybe the voice of Herbie.
That's so cruel.
Well, what's fun is he has such a great voice, so that'd be kind of fun.
Yeah, man, but exciting. Just make it right. Make it right.
Right. I think that's the main takeaway here. I think we all want to see him. It's just we'll see what we get, right? We don't know yet. It's all up in the air. So let's keep it moving, guys. Got a couple more left. This one, I'm not gonna lie, this speaks to my heart. Hugh Jackman will star as Robin Hood in The Death of Robin Hood alongside Jodie Comer. Now, look, hear me out. We've had a million Robin Hoods in the past, and more than half of them actually fail. The most recent one with Jamie Foxx and Taron Egerton, I don't think anybody remembers that movie. But hear me out. This is being directed by Michael Sarnowski. He directed Pig, and he's also directing the upcoming Quiet Place Day One. So he's got a little bit of blockbuster experience with there. And from what I saw on Twitter, people were joking that it's like, oh, Hugh Jackman's doing Robin Hood Logan because he's going to be like an older version of the character. But it's freaking Hugh Jackman and Jodie Comer. And I look, I'm not going to lie. I loved Pig. I haven't seen Quiet Place Day One yet, but I trust the process here. And I'm kind of excited. Let me throw this to you, Ileana. Have you seen Pig, and or are you hyped for this cast, or does this not interest you because it's Robin Hood?
I think the last Robin Hood movie I saw was that Russell Crowe one. So
Eek!
I know. However, I go hard. I write at dawn for Jodie Comer. I think she is a phenomenal actress and eats up any role that she's in. Like, she was truly the saving grace for me with The Last Duel. So I think she
was so good.
She was so good, and she felt like the only real character in the entire effing movie. So even if this one isn't great, I know I'm going to enjoy her performance. But yeah, I think it has potential to be something really entertaining and kind of, give us something different at the box office.
Yeah. Hey,
For sure.
Ben Affleck made his presence felt. Ben Affleck was such a great asshole.
We'll leave it at that.
He was such a dick in that movie. But anyways, Leo, look, and I have to say this again. I think our last few Robin Hoods, we had Russell Crowe, we had Taron Egerton, and then even going back further, we had like Robin Hood with Kevin Costner, which was like kind of okay in the 90s, but it wasn't like terribly popular. And we also had like the parody by Mel Brooks, Robin Hood Men in Tights, which I think is like the best version of Robin Hood. We had a cartoon in the freaking 60s by Disney. How do you feel about the character of Robin Hood? Do you think that Hollywood just doesn't get him? Because it's like, this is like the Fantastic Four of Hollywood. There's just so many bad versions of this character. Like,
I'm gonna be real with y'all. I'm over this shit. Like, I'm over this Robin Hood. I'm over it. And I can tell y'all this. I really like Jodie Comer as an actress too. I could go to the lengths of saying I love seeing her and stuff. Will admit when it came down to her and Vanessa Kirby for Sue Storm, I was like, I'm team Vanessa Kirby. But I do like Jodie Comer. I don't know, man. I'm just kind of over the Robin Hood stuff. I'm like, could this just be them doing something new and fresh? And the Taron Egerton one was just, I'm like, this ain't even damn Robin Hood. He got some old weird outfit on, and Jamie Foxx is in this movie way too much. It just was like, man, I don't know, man. I think I'm sick of like the Robin Hood angle of this. Like, and I know y'all, I know I'm the MCU guy saying this. Oh, let's do something original. Yes, I want something else. Like, I'm sorry, I'm just gonna say it. I want something else.
That's valid.
Well, look, I hear you, and I think I too am kind of like weary with the character. There's only so much you could do with it. However,
do y'all remember? I'm so sorry to cut y'all off. Do y'all remember the one with Uma Thurman in it? There's like a British one with Uma Thurman, and
I actually don't
remember.
What was the main dude?
Patrick Bergen.
Lord,
weird.
I don't remember that one at all.
This character has seen it all except a good movie.
Hold on. So real quick, look, I don't know if I could pull you to the dark side here, but the only reason why I'm intrigued is the director, Michael Sarnowski. I loved Pig, and he said it's gonna be like a darker take on the character, and pretty much Robin Hood will be on his deathbed, and he's kind of like looking back at the things he's done, because he's not a perfect character. He's very much an anti-hero.
Yeah.
Very much steal from the rich, give to the poor, but he's also like murdering people. So I think it'll be interesting going into his psyche and like having him like deal with the guilt of him like killing people or doing this and that, and why, how he became such a cult hero, but maybe at a price. I think that kind of is interesting to me. So
yeah, I thought Pig was good. I just wasn't.
Pig is phenomenal.
Big on it. Yeah, I know. For me, I was like, Pig was all right.
Fair.
But
I really enjoyed it. But I love movies with chefs. That's my
that chef.
Per usual, Tyler is cooking. He said they should make Hugh Jackman a fox just for the fun of it.
It's giving cats. It's giving cats, and you take that right back to the store.
So he said it has future box office bomb written all over it. I could see
terrible.
This is gonna bomb.
But you know what? My ass will be sat in the theater because I'm like that. I mean, I watched Fall Guy. What am I gonna do?
Let me tell y'all, Hollywood. No more Robin Hoods. No more King Arthurs. We're done. We're done with both of them, man. We're done. Choose your one, and then let's go.
Hey, hold on. I love that you said that, Leah, though, because I think for whatever reason, Hollywood will not let these mythical fantasy characters go.
They just won't, man. They've got a grip on them, and they're like, we got to come out with a new one,
Yeah. We can make it good. We swear. We're going to make it good.
That boomer crowd back in the movie theaters. And I'm sorry, the boomer crowd discovered YouTube and Netflix. I'm so sorry to inform you. They're not going to movie theaters anymore. Goddamn.
See the Charlie Hunnam version of the King Arthur. That bombed in the box office.
Right.
No, not watching that shit no more.
Right. Oh man, hey, but for all those, shouts out Keira Knightley and Clive Owen. I actually liked Antoine Fuqua's King Arthur, but that's neither here nor there. Let's keep it going, guys. Legendary filmmaker Francis Ford Coppola, his upcoming epic Megalopolis. I don't know how to say that. It finally revealed its trailer. As a huge fan of Coppola, it's kind of disheartening to hear a lot of negative word of mouth right now about the film, but it's got a great cast. He is putting his soul into it. It's probably going to be his last film. Do we have the teaser, Leo? Because I would love to see it if we have it. And here we go, guys. Here's the teaser for Megalopolis. Is that how you say it? Interesting.
I already saw this, but I have my thoughts.
Time stop.
What is going on here? What? That was it?
Yes, sir.
Holy moly.
He Kobe cooked his ass already.
Yeah, G. Colby.
Now, when has Adam Driver acted with a good haircut? Let's talk.
Never.
Oh my god.
Exactly.
Well,
So we eating good.
so I mean, it feels like Francis Ford Coppola is going for his Citizen Kane kind of thing
Yeah,
here,
definitely.
but that is such an odd way to introduce your film. Like, oh, look at this dialogueless 2-minute reel of him just standing off the edge of a rooftop. Like,
It's ballsy as all hell, and only he could do it.
shit. Did you enjoy that, Ileana?
I did, but I also
It was
liked
gorgeous
it.
for sure. It was just very off-putting.
Yeah, I want to
That's what I like.
Yeah, I'm just curious to see like what is going to happen with that time stopping. So there's some kind of manipulation of time going on here.
Yeah.
Why is this dude on this building? Like, what's going on, man? I gotta know. The colors are a little washed, though. I'm like, these are some weird colorings, but
as someone that hates trailers that show the whole movie, I kind of like the mystery. I like the vagueness of it. But yeah, we'll see.
Felt very much like a Cannes trailer because it is like Cannes premieres are very, very good at barely giving anything before like they go to Cannes. So I'm honestly shocked they got a trailer. I'm shocked we're seeing this right now because I would have thought they would have waited until after the Cannes premiere to drop it. Genuinely,
right?
But yeah, I think it's something. It has its audience. It has its crowd. I don't think this is going to be a crowd pleaser. But it's very ambitious. Did y'all read the description? Like oh my god,
synopsis?
The synopsis.
Honestly, I'm just looking at the cast and I'm like, holy shit! It's like Lawrence Fishburne, Dustin Hoffman.
Read the synopsis real quick.
Jason Schwartzman, of course. In the picture, you see Natalie Emmanuel there. Yeah, I don't know. I'm curious.
Megalopolis is a Roman epic fable. Set in an imagined modern America, the city of New Rome must change, causing conflict between Cesar Catilina, a genius artist who seeks to leap into a utopian idealistic future. And his opposition, Mayor Franklin Cicero, or Cicero, pardon, who remains committed to a regressive status quo, perpetuating greed, special interest, and partisan warfare. Torn between them is a socialite, Julia Cicero, the mayor's daughter, whose love for Cesar has divided her loyalties, forcing her to discover what she truly believes humanity
Well, hold on, we
deserves.
going a little far into the plot, ain't we?
That's the
Hey,
synopsis.
that's a long ass synopsis.
Right? I'm like, we're going a little
synopsis.
far into that plot.
Wordy
supposed
as
to be-
all hell.
It's supposed to be snappy, not Wikipedia style.
No,
like-
well, you know,
It's
we're
a lot to
snapping for a while
explain.
here.
I'm like, shit.
it's a little poetry, applause, if you will.
So, you know what? I'm
Yeah,
gonna trust the
it's
process.
ambitious.
I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch it, but I can see how this is daunting. I can see how the studios are nervous, because really, like, this is a hard film to sell. I'm just looking at this picture and I'm like, how do you sell this to people to go see it? Like,
The director of The Godfather. That's how you sell it.
Bingo.
There you
Because
go.
I mean, it's like you tell
What
that's the only thing people are gonna know.
What else you got?
Anybody else in this involved here? You could say Natalie Emanuel. Remember? Do you remember her from Game of Thrones? Y'all remember?
Army of
That's
Thieves?
basically all you could really say.
she's so beautiful. But yeah, you know what? Regardless, though, I'm gonna show out for Sir Coppola. He's a legend. But this is such an
Absolutely.
interesting little clip. It's not even like a
Eating
full
it
like
up.
official teaser. It's just like a clip. Like,
Missandei.
that's her name. Yeah,
Her
yeah.
back.
It's giving the fantasy and absurdity that Annette wanted to give in its
Oh.
trailer, in its
I
film.
still gotta watch Annette.
Yo,
You don't
look,
have
I'm-
to.
Oh,
You don't have to.
uh-oh.
Yo,
I've seen it twice and I don't regret seeing it, and I think it's good in many ways, but it's just the I think the certain topics it touches from a male perspective was just a little out of touch. 'Cause it
Uh-oh.
touches on, like, you know, the Me
Ah.
Too and all that is just, it was strange. I did not really love that, but artistically, hey, I'm an Annette apologist, even though it has 60% on I think Rotten Tomatoes. But I could be biased.
I was gonna say I appreciate the artistic integrity behind it, but I did not like Annette.
No,
It's not
and that's
vibing.
really weird. Annette, we went in blind. I have to say, this is my little flex. I did see Annette at Cannes when it premiered,
Nice.
and it was very strange. It was a fever dream, and the audience
Oh,
felt it.
man.
We all went through something together with Annette. So I thought of that when I saw this, and I was like, okay, this is giving what Annette wanted to give. So I'm excited.
So real quick in the chat, Tyler said he can't wait for the press tour when they ask Coppola his thoughts about the MCU.
And I
Yep.
will throw my phone out the window. Thank you.
I was gonna say
You know
it'll
what's gonna
happen.
happen.
They always do
know.
it. Kaisi was saying that synopsis was like him dropping the whole prologue of the film.
Right.
And
For
I'm
real.
sad.
But it's
And,
like
G.
you
Cole-
already know when Giancarlo's on the press tour as well. Hey, who are you playing in the MCU? Like that's
right. They're
all
not
that's
even
gonna
talking
happen,
about
man.
the damn movie. G. Colby said market it with the director of Jack with Robin Williams. Look, like I said, man, this guy's a legend. I mean, I'll be seated. Cinephiles will be seated, but reportedly, Leo, remind me, isn't this budget out of control too? Like, it's like
I think so. Yeah, I think the budget's like one.
Didn't Coppola have to
120.
like use a lot of his money to fund
Oh, yeah.
this?
He like financed it himself because no one
Ooh.
wanted to give him money for it.
This
So-
gonna be a bomb in the box office. I'm letting y'all know now.
But
35
but
million.
you know something. I think there's something to be said, and with this I'll close because I know we're going a little off the rails. But there is something to be said about doing it for the art and not the profit.
Yes. And I think
So-
Scorsese and Spielberg would obviously they're all friends, but they would gladly back that statement, Eliana. I think like, you know, being more about the artist.
He's not expecting this nor wanting this to be a box office hit. I think
Right.
he's expecting it to be a closing to his career, to his directing
Yeah.
career, and I think there's
His
something to
swan
be
song.
respected. Exactly, I think there's something to be deeply respected about it. So yeah, I'm not going to be. I don't plan on really partaking in any like box office numbers or dunks on this movie. Oh, it's a flop. I don't know. It doesn't matter.
I can
Doesn't matter.
look through that trailer, who all's in it, who's directing it. This motherfucker is a flop. Excuse me. Excuse my language.
But does it matter for the art of it? That's my perspective.
That's
with
the discussion.
It right now. So
as he said, he started his wine company just for this movie, and also
and
just
now
like
we know
a
what
fun
to drink
fact.
during it.
So for a fun fact, we had a film festival here in downtown San Jose, and one of our sponsors was Coppola Wine, and it's actually pretty good. I just want to say that he makes good wine. So
I would hope so.
So let's get back on track. We did get off the rails a little bit. Closing out the roundup here. Here's a fun one, guys. We're going back to the MCU because where else is there to go in this day and age? Empire Magazine provided us our exclusive first look at Anthony Mackie's brand new suit for Captain America: Brave New World. And let me just say it really quick, guys. It looks good, but we didn't even barely see him in the other suit. We saw him in the other suit for like 5 minutes. Like, damn, he got a new suit and we didn't even really see him in his other one. But that's just me complaining, being a nitpicker. Leo, how are you liking the new suit, man?
Man, Lo over here cooking the MCU. Talk about it's the only well.
Welcome to the cookout.
Like, damn, dog. We got the grills going, just fired up with the coals loaded. Now,
I'm just saying he looked great at the end of Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and it's like, oh, that one's gone.
He did, but I'll give y'all. I'll say this: I do think the neck looked really awkward, and the neck right here looks great. So I'm like, all right. What I really like about the suit is it's got accents of Sam, but it is mostly a Captain America suit we've seen. I love the suit. I love it. Yeah. I like how it looks on Sam. I want to see them wings. He's got the backpack on. I'm like, I can't wait to see him with the wings. And the way he was flying at the end of the Falcon and the Winter Soldier looks so dope. Man, I love it. I think, and I understand where people are coming from. People are kind of trashing this suit because it's like, oh, well, it doesn't make Sam stand out, but I don't think it looks like a bad suit. I understand where they're coming from with that, but I don't think the suit itself looks bad. I understand the philosophy of making this Captain America stick out and stand out, but even Steve retreated back to the suit in the second Captain America. So I think what they're trying to say is this suit is symbolic of who's Captain America at the time. So I like it. I mean, I think it looks cool. I like seeing Sam with the shield. Like, bro, I'm here for this, bro. I will say, though, that stealth suit was clean, man. The Winter Soldier, that damn stealth suit. That shit was clean, y'all. I was like, man, he got the muted colors and shit. I was like,
and then just the star,
like
just the star shining.
Yeah.
Ileana. I mean, it's giving first Avenger, but I mean, like, Ileana, how do you feel about his new look?
I think it's a move by Disney to sell more merch. As in addition,
come on,
artistically, we're artsy today. I genuinely think for this character, I think it's with that commentary that we got with Falcon and the Winter Soldier, I think it's appropriate that they try to make him look more like Steve, I guess, or make him look more like classic Captain America, to be more, I guess, perhaps widely accepted. Maybe that's something, I'm giving them a lot of credit here, perhaps, or benefit of the doubt, that maybe that's something that we talk about and that the suit is representing, and maybe he goes back to, or ends up in the movie with a suit that's still Captain America, but his own, Sam Wilson as Captain America suit, and just kind of being able to move away from that first Avenger vibe. But I think it's a safe bet that makes sense, at least for me in the story. So yeah, it doesn't bother me that it's kind of going back to basics, because if this is Sam's Winter Soldier, I don't know, Winter Soldier's my favorite. So I think we kind of need to go back to our spy espionage in the MCU, moment. And what better way to do it than with something that looking pretty clean with Sam Wilson?
Yeah, I think that's where they're headed here too. I think they're getting back to that kind of Winter Soldier vibe, doing the covert ops type of deal. Because it's like, Sam doesn't have the super soldier serum. So, well, and man, oh man, it's gonna be quite the face-off between him and Harrison Ford, because Harrison Ford gonna be Red Hulk. So I'm like, woof, how we gonna deal with that shit?
but the stakes are high, and that's what makes it fun.
Stakes is sizzling. Oh my god.
Tyler said, Wakanda, mad as hell. They made Sam his cap suit that he wore for 5 minutes.
The Wakanda, the Dora Milaje were like, and I'll take that.
Right. They took it back.
Like the girl with the plane ticket.
Look, Ileana, I gotta say, if this is his Winter Soldier, thank goodness, because
Yes,
I was not. I mean, Falcon and the Winter Soldier is probably my least favorite MCU TV project. One of my least favorite in as a whole. It really kind of dropped the ball for me. So, yeah, they can only go up from here.
started off a lot better.
Let me
and
close
it
the
just
grill. I know
ended
Leo's like, what
that.
are you doing?
No, I do think that he could be in both suits in the movie. Like we could see him in both in the film.
That's that's also what kind of where I was going at. Like, I think he's gonna start the movie with this, and I think he's gonna end the movie with maybe
The
like
white, maybe again.
the white, and just again something that's more him. Like again, moving away from I will never, maybe I'll want to live up to Steve or Steve's legacy, yada yada yada. We might teeter, but yeah, I kind of believe the theory that he might end up with a different suit, and this is just something to start the movie off with. So doesn't bother me. Looks good.
Yeah. The only thing is I'm like, okay, if he goes to that suit, yeah, I want it to be quick, not at the end, because like, all right, the point of the Falcon and the Winter Soldier was that I'm Sam Wilson as Cap. This is a different Steve.
Exactly.
So
but look with WandaVision.
Huh?
Multiverse of Madness.
Oh yeah, like hopefully not, but
so I don't know if they're gonna trust the audience to have thinking everyone saw Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Could be maybe hopefully they kind of do like the Marvel situation where they kind of catch you up a little bit and you continue with the character and you don't really have to watch the Miss Marvel series to understand what's going on. So we'll see.
Good comment here from Keezy too. Gonna be cool seeing him as Cap and Joaquin Torres flying together. Cap and Falcon like in the skies together.
Sure.
Oh, that's gonna be tight, dude.
Yeah,
That's gonna be cool, man. I'm down.
It's gonna look real good.
and I was gonna say, I actually like his look. A lot of the Twitter's a cesspool, but they were kind of roasting his suit too. But I think he looks cool. I think Joaquin Torres looks good. So
Oh yeah, I think he looks great. Oh, one more comment I have about this. Sorry, y'all. The only thing I don't want to see Captain America getting his ass beat, because they were saying in this Empire article, "Oh, we're putting Sam through the tests and through the." I'm like, well, I need Cap coming in, slinging that shield, beating guys down. Like, I don't want him getting his ass beat. So please don't have Cap getting his. Oh, he doesn't have the serum, so he's gonna kind of struggle. No, he's
tired.
No, he's military trained. He's trained through the Avengers programs. I mean, this guy should be almost on par with Steve if he didn't have the serum and went through all this stuff. So, like,
I'm glad you're saying that because he got his ass beat in Winter Soldier by fucking Rumlow. Fucking Crossbones gave it to him, man. He didn't win that fight.
Crossbones.
Ross, yeah.
You know what though? He did in the Falcon and Winter Soldier. He did some great work in that. I mean, he came in, slaying that shield, beat the goons down. I'm like, okay, this is what we need to see from Captain America. Don't have him.
Yeah.
Which Steve was kind of struggling with Patrock for a minute, so we can have some scenarios like that. But do some work. And
really quick, look, Colby, it's not that I didn't watch Secret Invasion. I'm gonna be honest, I forgot about it. It's left my mind.
You forgot about a project with Olivia Colman?
I totally forgot that happened. And now that you reminded me, yes, that was really bad too.
I never finished Secret Invasion. What's the secret?
Oh, there's not much to tell, Ileana, but we did get Drax armed Emilia Clarke.
And let me tell you this, it's just don't watch it. Don't. Just like you said about Annette, just forget it.
It's all good. I'm not.
You didn't miss much. Okay. You didn't miss much. Oh, and also we got a Rhodey retcon that I hated. I hate it so much.
Ridiculous.
I hate it.
Oh, I think I saw that on Twitter.
He's been a Skrull since Civil War.
Yeah, he's been a Skrull the whole time. Get out of here. I don't want to know that. Like, no.
Yeah, no.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
I can't believe it. I'm like, please.
I don't know.
No.
Disney Plus, sometimes the Marvel shows are the best and worst things to happen to the MCU.
Because X-Men 97 cooking. Listen,
That's
if
why I
we had
said
to go
best
through
and
all that-
worst. We
Huh?
had levels to this.
Oh, yeah.
Tyler said the secret is Emilia Clarke just became the most powerful being.
Man, that wasn't a secret. I saw that shit on Twitter for 3 days straight.
It was freaking goofy, man. It was goofy. I'm
Goofy
like,
as all hell.
just have Captain Marvel laying down in the show at that point. Like literally, it's like the scrolls are happening, all this stuff.
For
Oh my
what?
god, we don't have an Avenger to call. Captain Marvel could come through in that moment at that point. Like
Captain Marvel
what the
famously
fuck?
known for not
Who's
answering her
Emilia
calls.
Clarke's character? Kira. Who? What? No, Captain Marvel, Carol Danvers should have landed down, beat the crap out of the Super Skrull, and be like, okay, I got to go back, guys. But yeah, boom, you get her in. Now people are looking forward to the Marvels because she just came in, kicked ass, took names. But nah, who am I? I'm just a little nerd. I don't.
Oh, and by the way, we also lost one of our best agents.
Oh my god,
like,
man!
come on,
Maria
man.
Hill,
God
bro.
damn,
And we
first
lost
half an
Talos.
episode.
They killed Maria Hill.
They killed Maria. They killed Talos.
God.
Nick Fury doesn't
That
even
AI
reference his death.
intro. Good lord, there's so much wrong with that
Oh.
show.
It hurts. It hurts.
Leave that in the past. But you know what? We have to let go. We have to
Gotta let
it
go. All right, y'all. Thank you so much for pulling up to the stream tonight. Lo, let the people know where they can find you and what you got coming up on your platforms, man.
As usual, you can follow me on Twitter or Letterboxd at Marcellus Durden. I'm never gonna get that right. I'm a proud critic, editor, and film reviewer for the Cinema Spot. Check us out on all socials at the Cinema Spot and thecinemespot.com. We as a group, we have been workshopping and setting our applications. We're covering the Tribeca Film Festival, so keep an eye out for that. We're gonna do exclusive movie reviews for that from our entire team. We're all gonna tackle different things. And as usual, just check out our site at thecinemespot.com. We got lots of great TV shows and movie reviews on there. So
Awesome. Y'all go follow him on the social medias. Ileana, what you got coming up?
Well, I got coming up Geekly, this little show called Geekly Goods Live on Sundays. I don't know if you heard of it. It's really fun. And also some fun stuff for the Puerto Rico Critics Association that we're cooking up here locally. So I'm gonna be a little bit more engaged with the local critic scene. But yeah, I'm ready to have fun with that. So follow me on Twitter and Letterboxd at Captain Melendez.
Y'all follow her on the social medias. Keep up with the organizations, guys. Definitely keep up with the Cinema Spot. And y'all, if you're here on YouTube, come on back next week for this stream, y'all. Come on back. Let's keep this chatting going. It's a great chat tonight. Great fun stream, y'all. On the main channel, we've got a video dropping tomorrow about everything we know so far about the Fantastic Four movie, and got Planet of the Apes. Yeah, Planet of the Apes is coming out this week, so we'll have a review for Planet of the Apes as well. Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. I really need them to just say Planet of the Apes, Kingdom, Planet of the Apes, War, Dawn. Because, man, these are some long title names, okay?
Hey, they're honoring,
organized, alphabetized.
They're honoring the past, because ever since the past, it's been a mouthful.
Yeah,
Beneath the Planet of the Apes, Conquest of Planet of the Apes,
Conquest, all that. I'm like, y'all gotta just
y'all talking smack about that prologue with Coppola, and here we are.
I'm okay with just Apes, War, Apes, Kingdom. I'm down. I'm super down for that.
Good lord.
You know what? Now
You
that you
were
mentioned
too
it, Leo,
trick.
that kind of works. Apes Kingdom. Boom. You're a natural Jonah Jameson, man.
Give me that
Apes
Spider-Man.
Kingdom.
Y'all bring me that
Print
Spider-Man.
it, front page.
I could never hate Spider-Man.
Charging by the letter, damn.
But y'all stay tuned to more live streams here, and we'll see you next time on Geekly Goods Live, baby.